Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive on Devin Haney.
Yeah.
You guys want to get a handle on Haney's career
Right.
and what he's accomplished so far? And we've got the sources for you.
Yeah, we dug up a good
We've
mix.
got boxing databases,
Yeah.
we got his Wikipedia page,
Of course.
and we even found some stuff
Yeah.
that digs into his earnings and personal life a bit.
Really interesting stuff.
So we're aiming to paint a full picture here for you.
Yeah.
Not just the fight stats,
More than just the wins and losses.
but the story of his rise.
Right.
What kind of person he seems to be,
Mm-hmm.
and the things that drive him.
It's fascinating how much of his story
Yeah,
is about more than just those wins and losses.
for sure.
It's ambition,
Right.
resilience, all the complicated stuff that comes with being famous so young.
Okay, so let's rewind all the way back
All right.
to his early
It's
years.
the beginning.
I was blown away to learn that he moved to Vegas
Oh, yeah.
at just 14 years old
Wow.
to train serious.
That's incredible.
That level of dedication
Yeah.
at that age,
Unbelievable.
it's incredible.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's not uncommon when you look at athletes who reach the top.
Right.
That sort of intense focus,
Yeah.
it often requires sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sacrificing what most teenagers would consider a normal life.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about channeling everything
Right.
into achieving one incredibly demanding goal.
Yeah.
And keep in mind,
Yeah.
he started boxing even earlier.
Oh, wow.
7 years old.
So at 7 years old,
Yeah,
he's practically been boxing his entire life.
basically.
And then,
What's next?
get this,
Okay.
he turned pro at 17.
Wow.
He even had to fight
Yeah.
some of his early bouts in Mexico
Mm.
because of age restrictions here in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
What a gutsy move
Right.
for someone so young.
Yeah. Fighting abroad at such a young age
Yeah.
can be risky,
Mm-hmm.
but it can also expose a boxer to a wider range of fighting styles.
And help them build experience much faster.
That makes sense.
And it seems to have paid off for Haney.
For sure. Absolutely.
And speaking of early career moves,
Okay.
we got to talk about this whole champion in recess situation.
Oh, yeah?
So Haney becomes WBC lightweight champ
Right.
because Lomachenko gets elevated to franchise champion.
Right.
What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, what is that?
Can you break it down for us?
Sure.
It sounds like something out of a movie.
It is a unique situation.
Yeah.
So champion in recess,
Okay.
it's a way to protect a champion's status
Okay.
when they can't fight due to an injury.
I see.
So in Haney's case,
Right.
he injured his shoulder during his first title defense
Yeah.
against Alfredo Santiago,
Mm-hmm.
and he needed surgery.
Okay.
So this champion in recess designation
Yeah.
ensured that he wouldn't be stripped of his title
Gotcha.
while he was recovering.
So even when he's sidelined,
Exactly.
he's still technically the champ.
That's right.
That makes sense.
Okay. Now let's dive into some of his most memorable fights.
All right.
I don't want to just list his wins,
Of course not.
but
Yeah.
I did pick out a few
Okay.
that really stood out to me.
Sounds good.
First up,
Gamboa.
the Gamboa fight
Yeah.
was a dominant win for Haney.
Yeah.
Pretty much as everyone expected.
Right.
But it was a really important fight for him
Okay.
because it allowed him to really showcase his technical skills
Yeah.
against a seasoned veteran.
Exactly. It was a real statement fight.
Totally.
And then there's the fight against Linares.
Linares.
Did that feel like his first real test to you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Linares really pushed Haney to his limits.
Okay.
Even rocked him at one point in the fight.
Wow.
But Haney showed incredible resilience
Yeah.
and managed to pull out the win.
He did.
But there was some controversy
Oh.
with some people feeling that Haney relied too heavily on clinching.
Oh, yeah, the clinching to
Yeah.
slow Linares down.
Ah, yes, the classic boxing debate
Oh, yeah.
about clinching.
Always a hot topic.
And of course, we can't forget about the Cambosos Jr. fights.
Bosos.
Those were huge wins for Haney.
Huge.
He became the undisputed champion.
Undisputed.
After all,
That's massive.
what does that mean
Yeah.
in the world of boxing?
Okay, so becoming undisputed champion means
Yeah.
holding all 4 major world titles in a weight class.
Wow.
It's like being crowned the king of your division.
Oh, wow.
It's a massive achievement in boxing,
It is.
and one that Haney accomplished at a remarkably young age.
Yeah.
And to make it even more impressive,
Yeah.
he went on to solidify his dominance with a convincing rematch victory.
Total domination.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, we have the Lomachenko fight.
Lomachenko.
Man, that was a close one.
It was a nail-biter.
And there was so much debate about the decision afterward.
There was.
What are your thoughts on that fight?
It
seemed like people were really split on who they thought won.
that fight was a true clash of styles,
Okay.
and it really highlighted the elite level of both fighters.
Yeah.
Lomachenko, even at 35,
Mm-hmm.
showed incredible skill
Yeah.
and ring generalship.
Mm.
But Haney managed to land consistent body shots throughout the fight
Okay.
and edged out a victory on the scorecards.
He did.
It was a controversial win, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought Lomachenko had done enough to deserve the nod.
It was a nail-biter for sure.
Definitely.
I was on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Me too.
Now let's fast forward to Haney's move up in weight
Okay.
to face Regis Prograis
Prograis.
for the WBC super lightweight title.
Right.
He won that fight,
He did.
but it feels like things haven't been quite the same for him since then.
That's an interesting observation.
Yeah.
The Prograis fight definitely showed Haney's ability to adapt
Mm-hmm.
and dominate even against larger opponents.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
his next fight against Ryan Garcia,
Right.
which he initially won by majority decision,
Right.
ended up being declared a no contest.
A no contest.
This was because Garcia failed a drug test,
Oh, wow.
which is obviously a huge deal
Yeah.
in professional boxing.
Right. The failed drug test really threw a wrench into things.
Yeah, it did.
Can you explain a bit more about how that whole situation unfolded
Sure.
and why the fight ended up being a no contest?
So after the fight,
Mm-hmm.
it came out that Garcia had tested positive
Okay.
for a banned substance.
Why?
This led to an investigation,
Yeah.
and ultimately, the result of the fight was overturned
Wow.
and declared a no contest.
That's crazy.
It was a messy situation,
Yeah.
and it definitely cast a shadow
For sure.
over what should have been a celebratory moment for Haney.
Absolutely.
There was even a lawsuit
Really?
filed by Haney as a result of the whole ordeal.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that complicated.
Yeah, it got messy.
So where does that leave Haney now?
Good question.
He's still technically the champion in recess
Right.
at super lightweight, but what does that mean for his future?
Yeah.
Does he go back down and wait? Wait for a Garcia rematch?
Possibly.
Pursue other big names at 140?
It's a real crossroads for him.
It is.
He could drop back down to lightweight
Yeah.
and try to reclaim his titles there.
Okay.
But it seems like he's committed to staying at 140 for now.
Okay.
A Garcia rematch would definitely be a huge draw
Yeah,
and generate a lot of buzz.
for sure.
But there's no guarantee that it will actually happen.
Hmm.
There are also some other exciting matchups for him at super lightweight.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see which direction he chooses to go.
So many possibilities.
Lots of options.
It'll be fascinating to see what he decides.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of interesting,
Right.
let's talk money.
Money.
Haney has earned $10.3 million in his career so far,
Wow.
and he's only 25 years old.
That's impressive.
That's an impressive amount of money
It is.
for someone so young.
Yeah.
How does that compare to other top fighters in his weight class?
It's a great start,
Yeah.
especially considering his age.
Yeah.
To put it in perspective,
Okay.
his highest single fight payout was $3 million
Okay.
against Linares
Right.
back in 2021.
Right.
While those are good numbers,
Yeah.
he's not quite earning what some of the megastars in boxing are making.
Right.
However,
Yeah.
he definitely has the potential
Yeah.
to increase his earnings significantly,
Okay.
especially if he can secure some of those big money fights
Right.
we were just talking about.
Those big fights could really boost his earnings.
Absolutely.
Now, we wouldn't be doing our due diligence
Right.
if we didn't address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Back in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
Haney made a comment
Yeah.
about never losing to a white fighter.
Right.
This statement obviously sparked a lot of controversy.
It did.
Can you give us some context on that situation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's important to remember that Haney made that statement
Mm,
before his fight with Lomachenko,
Okay.
and he has since apologized for it.
okay.
It does bring up the complicated issue of how race
Right.
sometimes factors into the narratives
Yeah.
surrounding boxing.
It's a complex issue for sure,
It is.
and one that's worth thinking about.
Absolutely.
Now, before we move on,
Okay.
let's take a quick look at Haney's personal life.
Right.
He got married earlier this year,
He did.
in early 2023.
Wow.
That's pretty young for such a big commitment,
It is.
don't you think?
Yeah.
Especially for someone in such a demanding profession?
It is interesting.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows how the dedication required for success in boxing
Right.
often extends beyond the ring.
Hmm.
It's a unique lifestyle
Yeah.
that can impact personal decisions
Yeah.
in different ways.
That's true.
And speaking of personal life,
Okay.
we should probably touch on that incident
Okay.
involving the Leaks jail phone call
Oh, right.
between Haney's wife, Leena
Right.
and rapper Young Thug.
Oh, right. That incident definitely caught people's attention.
It did.
What happened there?
Okay.
So
well,
how did Haney and his wife respond?
a recording of a phone call
Okay.
between Young Thug, who was in jail at the time,
Right.
and Haney's wife was leaked online.
Wow.
It caused quite a stir on social media,
I bet.
with people speculating about the nature of their relationship.
Yeah.
Both Haney and his wife publicly addressed the situation
Okay.
and clarified that they were just friends
Okay.
and that the conversation was taken out of context.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
It's a good reminder of how intrusive social media can be
absolutely.
and how easy it is for things to be misinterpreted online.
It is.
That's true.
This incident really highlights
Yeah.
how athletes, especially those in the public eye, like Haney, often have to deal with a lack of privacy
Right?
and the constant scrutiny that comes with fame.
Yeah.
Their personal lives are often subject to public dissection,
Right.
which can be challenging to navigate.
Ugh. It's a tough reality for anyone in the spotlight.
It is.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here
We have.
in part one
Yeah.
of our Devin Haney deep dive.
I've got a good one.
We've talked about his early start in boxing, his rise to championship status,
Yep.
his most memorable fights,
Right.
his earnings,
Of course.
the controversies he's faced,
Right.
and even a glimpse into his personal life.
We got it all.
But there's still so much more to uncover.
Oh, yeah.
Join us in part two,
All right.
where we'll delve even deeper into Haney's story
Looking forward to it.
and explore what the future might hold for this talented young fighter.
Should be good. It's crazy how that leaked phone call
I know.
brought the issue of social media
Yeah.
into focus like that.
Totally.
It's a double-edged sword for these athletes.
Right.
On the one hand,
Yeah.
it helps them connect with fans, build their brand.
Right.
But on the other hand,
Yeah.
it opens them up to constant scrutiny and a real lack of privacy.
It's tough.
It is.
And,
Yeah.
speaking of building a brand,
Okay.
Haney seems to be doing a pretty good job of that.
He is.
He's got the skills,
Mhm.
he's got the personality,
Yeah.
and the track record to back it all up.
He does.
What do you think are some of the key ingredients to building a successful brand
Yeah.
in the world of boxing?
Well, talent is obviously the foundation.
Right.
You need to be able to win fights
Yeah,
consistently
for sure.
and prove yourself in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that,
Yeah.
it's about cultivating an image
Okay.
that resonates with fans.
Yeah.
It could be a certain fighting style,
Okay.
a compelling backstory,
Mm-hmm.
or even a strong social media presence.
So it's not just about what happens in the ring,
Right.
but also how you present yourself outside of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it takes a lot of work to maintain that image.
Yeah.
There will always be new challenges, new opponents,
Right.
new obstacles to overcome,
Right.
both inside and outside the ring.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Speaking of challenges,
Okay.
as Haney moves up in weight,
Hmm.
he's inevitably going to be facing bigger, stronger opponents.
Right.
Do you think his technical style will be enough
Yeah.
against those power punchers?
It's a good question.
Or will he need to adapt his approach?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's shown that he can adapt,
Yeah.
moving from lightweight to super lightweight
Right.
pretty seamlessly.
Yeah.
But as you move up in weight,
Right.
the power dynamics shift significantly.
So how might he need to adjust his strategy to compete at the higher weight classes?
It'll be crucial for him
Yeah.
to develop his power
Okay.
and refine his defensive techniques
Okay.
to counter those heavier hitters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just about absorbing punches.
Right.
It's about anticipating them,
Okay.
using his footwork and ring generalship
Right.
to avoid taking unnecessary damage.
Right. So it's almost like a chess match.
It is.
Figuring out how to exploit your opponent's weaknesses
And
while
I'll-
protecting your own.
Exactly.
And it's not just about
Right.
physical strength and skill.
You got it.
Mental fortitude is equally important.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when you're facing adversity.
Yeah.
Remember, he's already had to deal with the setback of
Right.
the Garcia fight being overturned.
Mm.
How he bounces back from that
Yeah.
will be a good indicator
It will.
of his mental toughness.
Of his mental game.
Resilience is definitely a key factor
For sure.
in any athlete's success.
Absolutely.
And Haney seems to have that in spades.
He does.
Now let's talk about some of the potential opponents
Right.
he might face at super lightweight.
At 140.
Who are some of the names on your radar?
Well, there's Shakur Stevenson.
A supremely talented and elusive fighter.
Okay.
A match between Haney and Stevenson would be a stylistic clash of epic proportions.
Then you have Teofimo Lopez, known for his raw power and aggressive style. And, of course, a rematch with Lomachenko is always a possibility.
Always lurking.
And let's not forget about guys like Subriel
Matises
and William Zepito, who are both rising contenders with a lot to prove.
Wow, that's a stacked division.
It is.
It's going to be really exciting to see who he chooses to face next.
Oh, yeah. Tons of options.
And remember, that's just a handful of names.
Right.
Boxing is constantly evolving, with new contenders emerging all the time.
All the time.
There are always surprises around the corner.
Always.
That's what makes it so compelling.
It's
like this ever-changing puzzle of strategy, skill, and determination.
Right.
And speaking of determination, let's take a moment to appreciate Haney's journey to get to this point. Moving to Vegas at 14.
Wow.
Turning pro at 17.
Oh, yeah.
Overcoming that shoulder injury. He's already faced and overcome a lot of challenges.
He has.
Absolutely.
And it all speaks to his incredible drive and focus.
It does.
He's clearly not afraid to take risks and push himself to improve.
Yeah.
That kind of mindset is a recipe for success.
It is.
In any field.
Right.
But especially in the demanding world of professional boxing.
Totally.
Yeah.
He's definitely a role model for young athletes.
He is.
Showing them that with dedication and hard work, you can achieve anything you set your mind to.
You can.
But like any athlete,
Right.
he's had his share of controversies along the way.
He has.
We've already touched on the racist comment controversy and the social media scrutiny stemming from the Young Thug phone call incident.
Right.
How do you think these events have shaped public perception of him?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Some people might see those incidents as blemishes on his otherwise impressive record, while others might view them as isolated events that don't necessarily reflect his overall character. In the end, it's up to each individual to form their own opinion based on the information they have.
And that's what this deep dive is all about.
Yeah.
We're not here to tell anyone what to think.
Right.
We're simply trying to provide you with the information and context you need to form your own informed opinions.
That's right.
We're presenting a comprehensive picture of Devin Haney, the athlete, the person, the complex figure he's become in the world of professional boxing.
Right.
Well said.
Thank you.
I think we've done a pretty good job of that so far.
I agree.
But before we wrap things up, I want to touch on one more topic.
Right.
Haney's training regimen.
Yes.
That guy's an absolute beast in the gym.
He is.
What's his secret? Is there anything particularly unique about his approach to training?
You know, there's no real secret. Just a relentless dedication to hard work, discipline, and consistency. He trains rigorously, focusing on all aspects of his game. Physical conditioning, technical skills, even mental preparation. It's the whole package.
And he's got a pretty impressive team behind him, too.
He does.
His father has been his trainer since day one.
That's right.
And he's also worked with some of the best coaches in the business.
The best.
Having a strong support system is crucial for any athlete.
It is.
And Haney's lucky to have that.
He is.
It allows him to focus solely on training and competing at the highest level without having to worry about anything else.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean? We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From Haney's early years to his biggest victories to the controversies and challenges he's faced along the way. What are some of the key takeaways from all this?
You know what's fascinating to me? Is that Haney's story is still being written.
It is.
He's achieved so much at such a young age. But as we've discussed, there are still a lot of unanswered questions about his future.
For sure.
Which weight class will he ultimately settle in? Who will his biggest rivals be? How will he handle the pressures of fame and scrutiny? Those are the big questions.
They are. It's like we're watching a champion in the making.
We are.
And it's anyone's guess what the next chapter will hold.
Nobody knows.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've learned so far.
All right.
We'll be back in a moment for our final thoughts on Devin Haney.
Sounds good.
And what we can expect from him in the years to come.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, and we're back for the final round of our Devin Haney deep dive.
Here we go.
We've covered a lot.
We have.
From his early days all the way to his biggest wins.
Yeah.
Even touched on some of the bumps along the way.
The ups and downs.
So as we wrap up, what would you say are the biggest takeaways?
That's a good question.
For our listener.
What's the essence of Devin Haney's story so far?
Yeah.
You know what stands out to me is how Haney's journey kind of reflects some universal truths about achieving greatness in any field, really.
Right, not just sports.
Not just sports.
Okay.
Raw talent.
Yeah.
It's just the starting point.
Right.
It's the dedication, the ability to adapt and evolve.
Yeah.
The mental toughness to overcome setbacks. Those are the qualities that separate the good from the truly great.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the highlight reel.
Yeah, the flashy stuff.
But the real story is often in the grit and the grind behind the scenes.
The hard work.
Okay, so we laid out Haney's career so far.
We did. The lows.
The controversies.
Right.
But looking ahead, thinking about Devin Haney's future, what's the one question that's really going to stick with you?
For me, it all circles back to his fighting style.
Okay.
We've seen how effective that technical boxing can be.
Right.
But will it be enough as he moves up against increasingly powerful opponents in those higher weight classes?
Yeah.
Can he add more aggression to his arsenal?
Okay.
Maybe embrace a bit more risk-taking.
I see.
To solidify his place among those boxing legends.
That's the question.
That's the question.
That's the question that keeps you coming back for more.
Keeps me up at night.
It's a great question.
Thanks.
And it's the kind of question that keeps boxing fans on the edge of their seats.
For sure.
Well, folks, there you have it.
That's it.
Devin Haney.
The dream.
A story of talent, dedication.
Absolutely.
And a whole lot of intrigue.
He's got it all.
Who knows what the future holds?
Nobody knows.
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
We'll be watching.
We'll be watching.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Devin Haney.
Appreciate it, everyone.
We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.